So we were just chilling out here in the Twitch stream, doing some research, about to watch some Jillian videos. Yeah, hey, more Jillian. And we started talking about tradition, and like the basic idea is tradition a good reason for doing something? And for me, that leans into like an old rant that I have. It would all stemmed off of a paper that I wrote for a class on social deviancy, which is really fascinating class taught by an incredibly beautiful woman. That's why I remember everything. That sounds pig-headed. It sounds chauvinistic. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it worked. My God, that was a brilliant class. She was a brilliant teacher, and she's very, very, very pretty. Anyway, sacredness. I tend to not see sacredness as helpful or useful. Not usually. That's not something that I usually would attribute to a positive factor in society. The reason why I say that is because and I keep in mind I'm talking about this from a perspective of somebody who lives in America. I do not have to address many of the issues that other people in other countries, especially less developed countries or ones with less firm and stable infrastructure, access to more modernized medicines and technology. But living in this pre-cyberpunk dystopian nightmare that we're about to step into, or whatever comes next, I don't think sacredness or tradition is very helpful. There is something to be said about the reward of maintaining culture. And I agree only in so much as a anthropological study. I like looking back on culture. I like looking back on religiosity, the progression of our species, the progression of our minds, the way we look at things, the way we look at society. I think there's a real value in that. However, maintaining those things, traditionalism, I do not really agree with. If something works, if something's not broken, don't fix it, is the old saying. Sure. Yeah. But is that to say that it can't be improved? No. And should we improve it? Yeah. It's kind of like a sentiment I've been echoing for a long ass time. I am a futurist. I like the idea of what comes next. I like to think about it. That's the kind of thing that I spend my time just daydreaming over. And I think these are really important topics that otherwise people don't usually tend to talk about, because they get wrapped up on the things that are opiating themselves. Religion is a big one. Our traditional values in America here, we have a fantastic one where we want to get back to the golden age of America, but it depends on who you ask that actually was. For some really dumb people, they say the 20s. Some people say the 50s. I would contend that over the past, let's say, 100 years, our best decade, and this isn't saying much, was the 90s. And that's really not saying much because there's a lot of fucking problems with the 90s. And all of this, like trying to go back to traditionalism, is trying to go back to something that person has in their mind as a thing that defined things were better than they are right now. I think that's stupid. I think that's arbitrarily the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because things have never been better than they are right now. More people have access to healthcare. More people have access to education. People are living longer. Like, things are pretty good. Could they be better? Yes. Should they have been way better than this a long time ago? Oh, yeah. We can expect better. But the idea that, like, it's this weird idea, you know, that like it was better than this a few decades ago. No, it's ridiculous. Usually hear that from somebody who's very scared. And I think that's what traditionalism is basically rooted in most of the time. It's in fear. You want things to be comfortable. You don't want things to be shaken up. And I understand that. I get that. But here's my argument against it, and this is the one that I'll always default to because it's very easy. Try and stop it. You might as well shout at the ocean to not come in. So yeah, if you're hardcore and true traditionalism, if you want that to be part of your own personal or family belief system, fine. I support that. That's cool. That's your choice. That's part of your right to self-expression and self-determination. Cool. But yeah, I don't think the world really is going to adhere to that, and slowly but surely, history, the wheel of history, grinds all of our beliefs and our safe spaces and our traditions and our hopes and thoughts and dreams into dust. So, yeah. Let's try and enjoy the ride, I guess.